What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio shouting and stepping in the building. I got my West Coast fam up in this thing. Glasses, Malone, what's good with it, boss?
What it be? What's happening, baby?
Hey, man, feeling good, feeling great in this thing. Now, Glasses, I mean, your globe trying to gear, man. I mean, what do we owe this visit to, boss?
Man, I'm just I'm hosting a drag race in South Georgia.
Okay, then. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. They got you out here in South Georgia.
I know, right? I know, right?
They get Glasses out there.
I mean, I'm a drag racer. Most people don't know that, but I grew up drag racing. That was me and my father's pastime.
Okay, then.
So low riding came through the streets and gangbanging, but drag racing is what me and my dad did. So
that's why
I never stopped, and now it's kind of all my music stuff is starting to cross over.
That's hard. That's hard. I mean, how do you feel being able to have that love from the memories of just kicking it with your dad, and then being able to live it out as a grown man, and adding the music influence to it at the same time?
You know what? It's really dope, homie. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like when we say street urban culture of hip hop, the artistic expression, the culture that we live, like that racing part of it, that illegal racing on the streets, that's always dope to be able to still be involved with it. And a couple of my buddies from the West Coast, Foley, my boy Monster from Compton, that's what we call Foley. It's a Bay Area brother. Okay. And it's a brother the cook. Okay. He's from the West Coast. What's the homie that cooked from the West Coast? I don't know why his name's slipping my mind, but he cooked. He got a big following. Okay. So they're holding a big joint race with some brothers from Georgia. And it's one of them things that bring brothers together that ain't really talked about. So I'm excited about that.
That's hard as hell.
I love all of this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anything in the culture works for me, B.
Come on now. I'm here for that. Now, I mean, Glasses, banned from Vlad TV, sir. I mean, how did you find yourself banned from Vlad TV? What was it that made you come up with that concept? Are you banned? What were you trying to get these folks to understand? Because, see, some folks are taking it two different ways. Even Vlad said, where's this coming from?
I know. So it's really an idea. I feel like he's been mad at me for the last 17 years over this situation where he wanted to borrow a gun because he got himself in some silly shit. Yeah. And he, you know, not nothing he did wrong, but he walked in and caught his old lady doing the dude with another brother. Yeah. And he wanted to kill him. He wanted to borrow a gun because he knew I was street and where I came from. And I kind of saved him from making a mistake. You know what I mean? And I would have loaned him a gun and I'd probably be in prison. Exactly. So from that point on, he's been pissed off at me about it. Yeah. And I really never thought about it until recently, where I realized at this point, okay, he may feel some kind of way and be kind of backbite me on back channels, and I wanted to make sure everybody knew exactly why this person was upset at me. Okay, so I mean, talk to me about your relationship with Vlad, because see, I didn't even know y'all were rocking like that back then, and I mean, how deep was it, and I mean, where's all this tension coming from now? Well, when I first started my career, Vlad was starting his career as a DJ, as a mixtape DJ. Vlad the Butcher was a popular DJ on the West Coast. That's right. Out of the Bay Area, and he used to have these tapes that was going crazy. I met him on Brazil Street, Black Wall Street, the headquarters. Game, Face, G-Ride. Really liked the dude. He was a solid dude. Looked out for me. I used to look out for him. If you look at the earliest Vlad TVs from 2005 and 6, I used to bring him to Watson Compton and have him on. Yeah. You know what I mean? We'd be doing interviews. Exactly. Until this situation happened where he wanted to borrow a gun, and I just really had to let him know, like, that's not your kind of walk of life. Like, you know, you got enough money to go buy a gun. Why would you want to borrow a gun from some gang member? You know what I mean? And if you wanted a gun, you would have one. So he's just been mad at me about it ever since. And I never thought about it until 2019 when I put out Tupac Must Die, and a buddy of mine reached out to do an interview, and he's like, yeah, I'm not fucking with Glasses over this situation. Yeah. And then further it kept coming. And I noticed people would bring up my name, and it would always be this disdain I would notice with him, where he wouldn't acknowledge I existed. And it was just like, damn, like, is it that bad? And, you know, and we were friends enough where I could have called him, but this was more artistic and more better. Okay. You know what I mean? So at least if we not gonna fuck with each other, you know, and if you dirty backing me to other people, they know why now. Exactly. I mean, when it comes to media on the West Coast, though, Glasses, I mean, you get busy in there too as well, man. So I mean, how do you feel about the state of urban culture and media on the West Coast? That's what makes it difficult, right? Is because the people that's in love with our culture may not be a part of it. Like, people talk to me all the time about Adam 22. Yeah. Adam 22 to me is a biker. So you know, he could end up being in some level of street urban culture. I don't quite know his history. Yeah. Vlad is a little different. He's from the Bay. So we don't have a lot of, you know, shout out to the whole Fig Munity world, because that's kind of becoming the new
Okay.
face of Los Angeles media. So it's about just getting with people and trying to make it make sense. Like, it's different when I come to the A. You see people that look like you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different connection. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And you feel like the stories and people understand it more. But I mean, you know how big DJ Vlad is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how big Adam 22 and No
Yeah.
Jumper is. They're huge platforms.
Exactly.
So it makes it a difficult task if that's not who you're willing to build with to have these conversations. If you there.
Yeah. Okay. Now I totally get that. Now for you though, I mean, Glasses, with your podcast and the content that you create out there, man. I mean, what is it that you really want to articulate to the culture from where your standpoint is right now?
I haven't really got into the media side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as like, I talk to other people.
Okay.
Like, not really. My podcast is all about us exploring different ideas that's happening in the world from our perspective, from the
Yeah.
street urban cultural perspective.
Okay.
That's all. So, like, what y'all do is different. Like one of the biggest things when I came to Atlanta was sitting with you was like,
Yeah.
I just like talking to another brother about what's going on in my career or what's
Yeah.
happening in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I sit down with Adam, it's always a different kind of, thing. He doesn't try to, but it feels a bit interrogative at times. Like, it feels like
Okay,
he's
so now
interrogating.
when you talk about Adam and what's going on over there, because I do want to know what
Sure.
is the vibe like on the West Coast when you seeing people catching Ricos or folks getting beat downs outside of media, and then it
Sure.
seems like a lot of mess is being kept up.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about that, seeing that?
I mean, none of us like it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And where Adam is at is probably not somewhere. We're not in the same location.
Yeah.
Like, Black LA is not all of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They're in a completely different city that's outside of Los Angeles.
Okay.
But Black Los Angeles is real small. Los
Yeah.
Angeles, you've been to LA, it's
Yeah.
huge.
Exactly.
You could be in LA and don't see none of us. Easy.
Yeah.
A lot of places. So Black LA, when we talk about Los Angeles, we talk about Black Los Angeles.
Okay.
And that's really small. So people don't like it. You know what I mean? Because it certain people that we really revere, legacy acts we love, that their name it's not being handled with care.
Yeah.
We don't like that. You know what I mean? But I mean, I think we do have an appreciation for all of those people. Like I noticed a person like Flacco. Flacco is a guy, and it's a lot of negative stuff, and I know
Yeah.
him, and I would like to consider him a friend. Like, we talk.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you keep speaking about this culture ignorantly that I
Yeah.
represent, and you have me to call, eventually, when do I realize, is it content or is it personal?
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
kind of the problem I think we all start to bump into, where it's like, this ain't no joke, and nobody want to have to show you it's no joke.
Exactly, because see, my question would be, I mean, as a black man in LA and understanding the gang culture, how do you feel like they depict it to
Horrible.
the masses?
Horrible.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
because
it's
there's some
horrible.
other things going on besides
No,
what I
it's-
keep on seeing.
They do a horrible, but listen, the thing that fuels gangbanging is the same thing that fuels hip hop,
Yeah.
being noticed.
Yeah.
So, even if it means acting in a behavior that's uncivilized to the
Yeah.
law, you know what I mean? It's all about being noticed. So I understand why the brothers go to Vlad or Adam or
Yeah.
any of these people. Academics, even Academics is a brother. So it's like,
Yeah.
I understand why you go to these people, but I don't know if they have enough care
Yeah.
for street urban culture to paint it in any other way but this very loose and generic idea.
Okay, so I'm about to hit you with this one though, Glasses, because it's the same thing that kind of goes hand in hand with hip hop. Do you feel like, podcasters and content creators have a responsibility to uphold the culture in a way that will move it forward and keep it sustainable for everybody in here?
Are they from the culture? See, just because somebody dibbles and dabbles and talks about our life, like, somebody could have a podcast in Atlanta and talk about trap, it's far
Yeah.
different than somebody who didn't fucking trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's different. You know what I mean? So I don't think, so this is gonna sound raggedy, and I don't want to relieve them of responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? There is no responsibility, at least on Vlad,
Yeah.
or let's say Adam or Act, because they're not of per se street urban culture.
Yeah.
They're not of the things that make this thing tick.
Yeah.
Whack, yes.
Okay.
So I think the disappointment, if people are, that's why, because he is from a gang. Like, he grew up the hard way like us. So you always gonna have a lot more critique for him than the rest of them.
Does anybody ever talk to Wack and say, "Hey man, what's going on here, sir"?
I'm sure, but you know what I'm saying? I'm sure people ask him, you know what I mean? But I'm sure he got his own perspective on it. But I think that's why, you know, it's dangerous because it only falls on him. Yeah. So the burden of, you know, and this is what being hip hop is all about. This is what being street is all about. It's the culture of representing. Like the burden of it. You got to represent, and you can't make us look stupid. You know what I mean? We all represent each other. So I don't think Vlad is like trying to represent Glasses Malone or Beehive or any.
Vlad is representing his dollars. Exactly. Okay, that's what he's going for.
So I think that's the catch. I think, you know, some people are there to. They understand how valuable we are and how we live is. Yeah. They don't have no respect for it.
Okay. And then also, see, my thing is, like I used to tell my students a while back, I said, hey, man, this was in about 2018. I told them, I said, in about 5 to 10 years, it's going to be more podcasters than rappers. Yeah. And I see us slowly inching in that direction right now, man. I mean, with that being said, I feel like podcasting will probably wind up being an anchor of the culture moving forward and being considered one of the main pillars in hip-hop. And I'm just concerned about how we take care of this platform to make sure that we don't get watered down. Make sure that when me and Glasses get together, we can have a real conversation and we ain't held to any corporate standards or any blackballing or blackmailing to where the information that the people need to get, they can actually receive that information. So with that being said, how do you feel about just the culture being talked about and where this entertainment industry is shifting to, with it being podcast, a way for a lot of rappers and artists just to maintain relevancy now?
So even with the shift, it's because of technology, right? We YouTube is how. YouTube don't even strengthen music videos. Nobody like, we cool on that. We ain't paying them licensing fees to them. Where's the podcasters? That's something for them that they feel like it's just theirs. Versus music is like everybody has access to the music. So they are definitely leaning to something that's more for them, right? As YouTube and all of these different outlets. How do we protect it? You almost can't. Like hip hop went through the same problem, right? When hip hop was protected because a label could sign a act, but if that particular community didn't raise that person up, you couldn't sell somebody from Los Angeles to somebody from Atlanta without us saying they're our guy.
Exactly. Those are facts.
Now with the birth of social media, right, you can find the niche of people you represent. And you could be somebody saying you this to the type of person, but long as people on the internet believe in you and rock with you, you know what I mean, then you could be the representation. So I think podcasting is a little even worse because it's like, it's a bunch of people, you're teaching a bunch of people, ignorant people about what this is, and ignorant, not insulting, but like they just don't know. And they're listening to you as their official guide, and they might not know you don't know shit, but you just know more than them. Like Flacco is a prime example. Like the young homie Flacco is like, Flacco don't know shit about gangbanging, but because he's in Los Angeles, the county, and because a couple homies sat down, gangbanger homies sat down with him, it validates his shit. It's like with academics in Chicago. Like, how much could academics truly understand about Chicago street urban culture? Whether you talking about GDs, he could only understand what he learned on the internet or what somebody told him. He has no personal experience in it. He didn't spend time in Chicago to build a bond with the brothers down there. So it's in this new content creation space, there's a bunch of people, right, who know this much more than the general person, sounding like and being respected like they're geniuses in the field.
My God.
So how do we protect it? It's almost impossible because they don't need us to get it. They can go right to YouTube. They can go right to one of those streaming companies and launch an outlet. And long as the layman, unexperienced person believes that they know, they could build a following.